Welcome to the next video in our BuildSMART Revitt Panel Families Guide. BuildSMART Revitt Panels 501, Panel Tagging and Schedules. In this video, we will cover how to number and tag the BuildSMART panels in your project and also discuss the built-in BuildSMART panel schedule. There are two types of tags that you will want to use, the BuildSMART panel model tag and the BuildSMART panel numbering tag. The model tag is used to note the type of panel, 20C8, 61L8, etc. And the panel numbering is used to number each panel, similar to a door number, to help locate where each panel goes on the plan. We will start by numbering the panels. The panels are numbered starting at the bottom left corner and then going counterclockwise around the building. You can number the panels manually by selecting each individual panel and placing the number in the mark parameter under Identity Data. This is a tedious and slow process, but luckily Revit has a tool to automate this process, making it much easier and faster. Go to the Extensions tab, and you will see the Autodesk Revit Extensions Tools section. You will need to have the Autodesk Revit Extensions add-on installed in order to see this section and use these tools. It is freely available from Autodesk with the subscription. Just search with your favorite search engine for the term Autodesk Revit Extensions 2015 or 2016, depending on your version of Revit. It is also available directly from the Autodesk Subscription Center. The utility that we want is located under Tools and is called Element Positioning. This tool allows you to automatically tag and number all the elements in your model with specific numbering schemes and tags. You'll see that this tool has identified all the elements currently in our project, including floors, walls, generic models, and slab edges. Since our wall panels are classified as generic models, we will uncheck the other categories. Now, since our wall panels are classified as generic models, and this tool does not allow you to differentiate between different families, we suggest that you do not place any other generic models in the project before numbering the panels. Otherwise, these components will also receive a number, and will mess up the order of your panels. If you do already have other generic models placed in your project, or you want to renumber the panels with this tool later, you do have the option of assigning numbers to only the elements that you have selected. So you could select all the BuildSMART panels in your project and choose Assign Position to Selection Elements to ensure that only the BuildSMART panels get numbered. As you can see, we selected a portion of the panels, and the tool now only shows 9 elements that will be numbered, or you can switch back to all elements in the project as well. So we will go back to all elements and make sure that the other categories are unchecked, and then we move to the numbering section. Order of axes tells Revit which direction it should start with. XYZ tells it to number across along the x-axis, and then up along the y-axis, and finally vertically along the z-axis. YXZ tells Revit to start numbering up the y-axis, then across the x-axis, then vertically up the z-axis. We want to select XYZ as we want to number across the x-axis and then up the y-axis. Sensitive z-axis tells Revit if it should start from the top and work its way down, or vice versa. We want to number from the lowest floor up to the top floor, so we will pick the first option. Leave the auxiliary options at their default as seen here. You can reference the help article from Autodesk if you would like to find out what these options do. Now we will move on to naming. This is where you tell Revit what format you want the numbers to have. We will go back and select a couple other categories to show you the different formulas available. There are 3 variables available: %S for sets of elements, %E for individual elements, and %L for level. We only need to use the %E, so let's get rid of the other categories and look at the formula. We want each of our panels to have a separate number, and we don't care about what level they're on, at least for a small project. If you are using the BuildSMART panel system on a large multi-story project, you might want to add in the level variable, like so, or the sets of elements variable. You can add letters after the variables. So if you wanted the panels to be numbered by level with an L after the level number, like 1L-1 or 2L-1, etc., you can just add that letter after the variable like this. You can also change the initial values. So if you had a walk-up basement, you could change the level initial value to 0, or if your project is not using the panels on the first floor, you can increase the number to 2. We'll leave it at 1, since the lowest level our panels are on is the first floor, and we will remove the other variables and labels besides %E. Now we will move to tags, and there are several options available here. We can have the tool automatically insert a tag for us, with or without a leader, and at a set distance from the element. We can decide if we want to place the tag in just the current view, or select a range of views. We can choose if the tag orientation is horizontal or vertical. Now you want to select the correct tag. Revit defaults to the option of applying a default tag, so we want to uncheck that so we can change the tag to the correct one. We want to change the tag from the model tag to the panel numbering tag. Set the tag for the element distance of 2 feet for now, then click OK. You can see that Revit has placed all the tags for us and numbered the panels starting in the lower left corner. However, it did not number the panels correctly and skipped around a bit. It has worked correctly in the past, however. Sometimes this does occur, and it's just a Revit quirk that pops up occasionally. It could be based on the order in which we place the panels. It's a start, and if it works, it's much easier than numbering by hand. Anyways, you can see that the panel numbering tags are just simple circles with numbers in them. You can edit this family if it conflicts with your firm's graphic standards. Let's add the panel model tags now. We will use the same tool with the same settings, except we will change the tag from panel numbering to panel model tag. And we will change the tag to element's distance so the tags don't get placed on top of each other. We'll set this as 1 foot for now. Revit has placed all the panel model tags for us, and you can see how the panels are labeled. From a 2OC8 corner panel, to an 8S8 straight panel, and a 6W2R8 single window panel. Now that we have our panels numbered and tagged, let's go take a look at how the BuildSMART panel schedules work. We have 2 pre-made schedules available. One is for ordering purposes, and the other is for identification and editing use. First, let's look at the BuildSMART panel schedule, which is used to list the panels and provide you with a convenient way to make global changes to the panel framing and installation. As you can see, we have populated the schedule with only the fields needed to identify and edit the panels. The schedule sorts the panels first by level, and then by mark, and then by model. This way you can easily identify the first floor panels from the second floor panels, etc. Please do not change any numbers in the panel width or panel height columns. Those are only there for reference. If you do accidentally change a number, you will see either a 0 or a wrong mark in the model column. This will let you know that something got changed. Do not change the height of the panels using the schedule. If you change from an 8-foot to a 9-foot high panel by entering it into the panel height column, it will change the panel height and update the model number, but it will break the link between the family type name and the actual geometry of that element. You can change the framing type column if you decide that you need to use 2x6 framing instead of 2x4 framing. Just change the 0 to a 1, and you will see that the panel framing depth changes from 3.5 inches to 5.5 inches. Same with the insulation depth. If you need more insulation, just increase the integer in the insulation depth column. We will change from 5.5 inches of insulation to 8.5 inches by changing the insulation depth value from 2 to 5. Unfortunately, Revit does not allow you to select the entire column and change all the numbers at once. Hopefully one day, Autodesk will realize that we want the schedules to work more like Excel and fix this issue. Let's go take a look at the BuildSMART panel order sheet schedule. This sheet is much simpler. It only contains the fields needed to place an order with us. This schedule groups the panels by model, then by framing depth, and then by insulation thickness. This allows you to differentiate between panel types if you have a project where you will not be using panels with all the same framing or insulation depths. The schedule counts up each type of panel, lists the width and height of the panel, and the framing depth and insulation thickness. It also provides a grand total for the number of panels, so you can verify your order with us when you place it, and also when the panels arrive on site. They can be counted and verified against the schedule. You can place these schedules wherever you prefer in your drawing set. That concludes this lesson on panel tagging and the schedules included in the BuildSMART template. Our next video, BuildSMART 601, will cover panel families with instance parameters and walkout basement design. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to our channel and visit buildsmartna.com for more information.